When it comes to simulation, Asseto Corsa Competizione is the real deal, incorporating a lot of all the intricacies that make up real-world racing in the game. But did you know that the game doesn't do a very good job of giving you all the data that it can? Step in overlays, and for me specifically, ACC Drive, a piece of software I truly wish I had at day one of ACC. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I use ACC Drive in my driving view, which are the elements that you guys see during my racing. And stick around to the end because there is a special reason that I even know about ACC Drive, and I truly feel it encapsulates why this product is so great. Let's dive in. So let's start in the middle of my overlays and work around from there. To start with, we have the dash. Now the dash from ACC Drive is a nice simple approach to showing data, which I really like. It has all of your fuel data, including laps left or time left on fuel, right in front of you, so it's nice and visually easy. And along the bottom, it just has your references for your traction control, your ABS, brake bias, and an interesting one with minimum corner speed, which can be quite useful if you're trying to hunt out lap times in a particular session. The feature I really like though about the dash is the little bar underneath the gear indicator. The yellow and red indicate throttle and brake, and as someone who's struggling with putting their foot on the brake down the straights or resting it a little bit too hard, having that nice red indicator pop up is a nice visual mark to stop me doing that, something I've been working on in recent weeks. Moving next to that, we have two widgets which are super helpful and really encapsulates where ACC doesn't give you all the information. The first one is the damage widget, and this is a really easy way to reference whereabouts on the car you have damage and how many seconds it would be to repair it come pit stop time. Obviously, lots of damage on the front or rear can really change how the car drives, while smaller damage on the side doesn't affect so much. Now in normal circumstances, you simply have the pit window which shows you how many seconds of damage you have, but it doesn't give you any indication of where that damage is and how it might be affecting the car. I've had cases as well where trying to change to that menu to see that number has resulted in heads-up displays being put down with wrong button presses, so having it right there, not needing to scroll to it, is just a nice simple way of seeing it in the middle of a race. Next to that as well, we have the tyre widget. Now this is one I've seen many streamers use even as a sole element, and personally this would almost be worth the cost of the software on its own. It gives you a full outlay of where the tyres are, including temperature of the tyres, PSI, and pressure loss during the stint, which can happen if you hit the curbs too hard on particular circuits. I found this really useful when trying to set appropriate tyre pressures, as certain circuits require a few PSI on some tyres to allow the end of stint to have an appropriate PSI range. Also a really good indicator for brake temperature, which obviously for the ACC normal overlay is simply a coloured box and doesn't give you a real insight as to how hot the brakes or tyres are getting during a stint. Now having this information doesn't make you perfect at setting pressures or getting these figures right, but having that data and being able to understand it more has certainly helped me improve these areas much faster than simply coloured boxes not giving you the proper information. Moving anti-clockwise now, we have the little telemetry box, which I found to be quite useful as I've started to learn some driving techniques that I've been working on. And then at the very top of the screen you have the session information, which is a nice thing for the videos because it gives a clear indication of the track temperatures and also a nice clear indication on track cuts through the race. Nice and easy for you guys to see during those videos. And then moving around, we have the lap time counter, which is a nice wee feature giving all of the same information that the ACC one does. However, the real difference that I prefer on this one is the way that the coloured bars work for improvements or not improvements inside a lap. The main difference with this is it has a session best, a purple sector option. Now, as I get higher up and start competing in split one races, it's not very often that I get the opportunity to produce a fastest lap, but I've certainly had sessions where if I'm in contention for a pole position, knowing halfway through the lap that my time is in fact session best to that point, it's a good indicator that I'm on pace and don't necessarily have to push too much harder to be in the mix. And below that, I use the track map. Now the key feature of this track map, which I like the most, is the little pea purple icon that you see moving around the track. That is the pit stop exit indicator, and it's super cool on the long races where there's the mandatory pit stop to allow you to play smart strategy calls in the race based on where you will come out onto the track after your pit stop. Now if you have situations where you have damage, there'll also be a little plus symbol as well, which is the indicated position on track you will exit the pits if you completed the repair of that damage as well. If you're trying to do an undercut situation, knowing whether you'll come out into traffic or not and ruin that strategy is super important, and without this information you are simply guessing on where you could end up on track, completely ruining a potentially good strategy call. And this leads me on to two things that you don't always see on the screen during my races. The first one being pit info. Now pit stops are something I've truly been struggling with, and this little feature from ACC Drive has certainly helped me in the recent weeks to start nailing these pit stops a little better. When you enter the pits, the little box comes up to show you initially whether you have managed to hit the speed limit as you've entered the pit lane, and as you approach your pit box you get a nice straight white line which helps you line the car up directly square with the pit box itself, and also a little countdown which reveals the little yellow box that the car needs to be in when you come to a stop. Now I'm still trying to get my head around exactly where I need to be braking to perfectly hit this marker, but it's a significant improvement on the little to no information that ACC normally gives you when trying to complete this stop. This is something I truly wish I had from day dot when trying to get my head around pit stops, and it would have saved me a significant amount of not only time in races, but also the elo that I lost in the process of those stops as well. Combined with obviously the track map and the pit strategy that you can play there, it's certainly a couple of very cool features, and in fact it's another whole video, the pit stop with ACC Drive, because there are some other strategy options with ACC Drive for those endurance races, which again is a whole nother video in itself. And lastly, we have the yellow flag indicator, and what I really love about this is it allows you to make really good quick decisions in the event of an accident in front of you to stop you being involved with it as well. You'll quickly see the box come up when a yellow flag is revealed, and it immediately shows you what cars are involved, where they are either on or off the track, and even the orientation of that car as well. As the meters count down, potentially these accidents are happening around a corner you can't see around, so knowing if you need to go left or right to avoid that accident well beforehand is a huge advantage when it comes to keeping out of trouble, and helps that safety rating quite a bit. While I was lucky early on in rookies to miss a few accidents, having this overlay from day dot would have made a big difference when it came to growing that safety rating, and I feel would help a lot of people out there who are struggling in this area. And the last two things, which you often won't see on the videos, are the fuel calculator, which is super easy to use, and also in the strategy box, a good little indicator of what pressure adjustments could be made to the car after driving enough distance in a session. All these little things have truly helped me tidy up some of the areas in my driving, although having the tools doesn't always mean you get it right every time. So there's still a learning process for me to get my head around, but having more information than not is certainly better when it comes to making the right decisions, particularly the ones you have to make in a short period of time. So now the story on how I got into ACC Drive to start with. You see, in the first week of my channel, I had Nicholas reach out to me with offers of help for not only some driver coaching, which you've seen on the channel, but also for the use of ACC Drive to help fix some of the rookie issues I was having and shown in my first videos. Now, as we talked more about the product, it became clear that for them this is a real passion project and a means of helping as many sim racers as possible. As a result, to this day, it's still only a €25 cost to get into ACC Drive, and that's a lifetime access including all updates and future features included in the price. I certainly think this is tremendous value, and with the continued offer of help from the guys at ACC Drive to help improve not only my driving but share it with you in videos, we have decided that they will be my first official channel partner to reveal to you as well. So if you want to check out ACC Drive, then an affiliate link is in the description for you to go check out yourself. And more importantly, Nicholas and the team will be helping me out with a lot more tutorial type videos, which I think will offer tremendous value for all the newer players which are watching this channel. And I think it's a tremendous offer from that team to really share all this incredible knowledge that they have. And for you, I really hope it answered some of the questions you might have been having about the overlays that I'm using in ACC. Lots of people have been asking what they are and what they're used for, so I hope this covers a lot of it. And to be clear, ACC Drive is significantly bigger than the features that I've shown you, so if you want to hear more about those features, then please subscribe to the channel, because there's probably 2 or 3 other videos that I will be doing on ACC Drive, or click the link and head to the website to check them out for yourself. Hope you found this video interesting. As always, race hard, stay positive. We'll see you all again in the next one. Cheers.